And away we go. Hello and welcome to the Darren Green Show, your one-stop shop for celebrity gossip, news and music, pop culture, and the latest gab on social media. Be sure that if you are watching this on YouTube to leave your thoughts in the comments, leave a like. If you're not subscribed, girl, what are we doing? And from our audio listeners, hey, be sure to rate this podcast and leave a review also. Now, let me tell y'all something. Okay, let me tell y'all something. Let me give the audio listeners a bomb today because y'all really was doing y'all big one this week. Okay, so I was doing this little experiment. I wanted to do a show every day of the week, so Monday through Friday. I didn't get to do a show on Thursday because I think the day prior, Wednesday, that's when I did that thing with TMZ. And that whole day was just like, girl, it was stressful to tape and all that. I had to gear up for that, had to get my hair all together or whatever. And then after it was done, I just wanted to treat myself and take the day off. Okay, let's be very clear. So I was, talking to my friends and family about it and stuff like that. So I didn't have time to really tape an episode for Thursday. And I also was doing a collaboration. I worked with Alfonso with the last episode, which came out so great. I love that you guys love the duo. There was a couple comments under that video saying like, this duo is good. I want him to come back. If he wants to, I don't know. But it definitely was a good show. It was a good experience. I've never experienced that with any co-host, and it's no shade to anybody that's previously been on my show. But I think it's because we both have like a love for like entertainment, news, celebrity gossip, and stuff like that, that it just worked well. Weller than any other collaboration or co-host that I've ever like had on the show. Like I said, no shade. So I want him back on the show. He's a big creator as well. He got his own platform that he has to deal with or whatever, it's at the third. But I would love for him to come back on the show. And we talked about that too. So you might see him again very, very soon, right? Good collaboration. So like I said, yeah, I didn't have enough time to do the Thursday show. But this was a good experiment that I tried this week. I'm not going to do that again. What I'm going to do, I will give you guys a new episode on the off day. So you'll get this podcast on Monday. Then on Tuesday, I'll tape another show for Wednesday. And then on Thursday, I'll tape a show for Friday. So I'll post 3 times a week. And I think that really works with my schedule and what I got going on. Because, I got some other things going on, child. And yeah, I think that's going to work. Now, I like to get right into it. I have nothing else to say about my week, child, other than it was a really like constant heavy week. I recently on Saturday, child, because I'm recording this podcast late Sunday morning, honey. It's almost 12 o'clock because I went to this because it was 420 on Saturday. So, everybody was celebrating 420, smoking up or whatever. There's this place in my hometown that I believe is partly owned by a family friend of mine or whatever this and the third. They had like a 420 party and they was also watching the fight. If y'all don't know, the fight between Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney. First of all, I don't watch fights like that. I mean, me and my cousin went, so we was having a good little time. When we came in that place, child, because it was a 420 event as well. Girl, when I tell you that place was smoking. Like, it was so hazy. I know I had caught a contact high. I'm okay with the contact high. I don't do the stuff. Okay, let's be very clear. Like I said in previous episodes, I don't do the stuff, right? But I don't mind a little contact high. They also had liquor there too, so I was sipping. It was a cute little event. It was just like a couple people get a little tipsy and a little high. They start to act crazy. And my cousin is a baddie, so they definitely was trying it. And I was like, oh, child, I got to play bodyguard today. But it was a pretty good event. I watched the fight, very fast. Like I said, I don't watch shows like this. But I do know of Ryan Garcia. He's been very like sporadic and just weird online. I knew he was gonna win because it's usually the crazy people that be winning, child. Like this is the same person. I think he went on some type of rant or something like that, talking about like, oh, men shouldn't be having no nail polish on or whatever. I think that, yeah. And then he did this weird little interview over here. Sorry to the audio listeners. I'm showing like video clips. This interview right here, like I just knew when I saw this, I was like, oh no, he's definitely gonna win because it's always the crazy person, child. It was a good fight. He definitely, when I tell you to Ryan, don't mess with him, okay? he was throwing them punches, child, but it was an interesting event. But anyway, we have a lot to get into. We have an extensive show. We got to talk about the episode 5 of the Real Male Rappers. Like, no, I'm calling this the Rap Royale, honestly. We got to get into the whole Chris Brown v. Quavo situation. We'll talk about how Drake is using like AI to diss Kendrick, which I think is corny. We'll get into that. Kanye West chimes in on the beef. We got all that and more coming up on the Darren Green Show. Now, we can start with the Quavo and Chris Brown diss. A couple days ago, Chris Brown dropped a diss record towards Quavo called Weakest Link. Okay, to jog your guys' memory, Chris Brown and Quavo has been going at it for some time now, for years actually. And it all started when Quavo started dating his ex, Karrueche, and Chris Brown just never got over that, or he just felt some type of way. I don't think these two knew each other. Like, it's not like any bro code was broken, because like I said, they didn't know each other, but I think that Chris Brown is very obsessive over his women, and especially Karrueche, because Karrueche had to literally give this man a restraining order. Let me stop. Let me not go down that man history, child. But yes, he didn't like the fact that Quavo was dating Karrueche. Now, the two recently went at each other on some records that recently came out. I believe Chris Brown dropped a project, and in one of the songs, he shaded Quavo. And then Quavo dropped, or he was on a record or whatever the case was, and they kind of was going back and forth. And I guess this is when this ushered Chris Brown to drop The Weakest Link, right? Now, I won't go lyric for lyric, because we don't do that here, okay? I'll tell you the synopsis. I'll tell you what was said, okay? And one of the main things that was said was that I don't feel no type of way that you dated Karrueche, because at the end of the day, I smashed Saweetie when y'all was together. That was like a mic drop moment. Me personally, I do believe Chris Brown. We'll get into that a little bit later. Many people were mesmerized and gagged at the fact that Chris Brown like really was, I'm not gonna lie. And you know, Chris Brown also was on the FTCU video with Nicki Minaj. Like, his raps has definitely evolved, because when he used to rap before, I was like, okay, you was singing it. Okay, you sing. Okay, don't try to. But I definitely feel like him rapping now, I don't know what, he got some type of vocal coach or whatever. What most singers can, I mean, I'm not trying to say singers can't rap, because, we got people like Beyonce. I don't care what nobody says. I love when Beyonce rap, okay? It's just, I was very surprised. I'm just saying. Many people say that he woke up hip hop. This wasn't like a mumble rap like a lot of these new dudes. A lot of these new rappers do nothing but mumble rap. He enunciated his words so that people can know what the hell he was talking about. And he called Quavo a bitch in dreads. That line is what got me too. I was like, girl, what is going on? But really, this beef is so petty, because you are beefing with Quavo because he messed with your ex, which in turn, like, they didn't even last that long. So what is the beef? Now, like, the way he was talking about Quavo, I think that it might go elsewhere. I mean, there was some people in the comments saying they gonna have to phone in Louis Farrakhan to break up this, because this might get catastrophic. This whole Drake and Kendrick thing is child's play. But this right here, because we all know Chris Brown is very aggressive, very violent, and so is Quavo. Okay, to my knowledge, we don't see too much of Quavo. He get into some stuff too, but no, we know Chris Brown, child. He chokes girls. Okay, we saw that picture of him and Karrueche. Now, somebody said that should have been Quavo's profile picture, him choking out Karrueche. Girl, I was like, y'all need to stop. Y'all really need to stop. But really, I think that line about Takeoff was trash, to be honest, though. Like, the fact that you sat there and say, oh, everybody was wishing that it was you, that, somebody died, somebody got unalived. I don't want to hear nobody saying, because I was already seeing people in the comments talking about, oh, y'all can't be policing how people rap and how people talk about people at the end of the day. No, so when it gets to gun violence, I don't want nobody to say nothing, because no, you talking about the dead, you talking about somebody else's family members. F what you got going on with Quavo, you pissing off the relatives of freaking Takeoff. Like, no, I think it's a fine line. Now, as for the Saweetie conversation, okay, because Saweetie made her little response. She basically said, let me go rewrite these Nani verses. Now, let me tell you something, Nani, that song sound good. I really want to know what she has to say about it. It's the song that she's been teasing, and it is about her nether regions. There was a conversation about that on Twitter. People are talking about, when you look at Saweetie's list of men, and I'll list them right now. So that's like Lil Baby, Chris Brown, YG, Offset allegedly, Keith Powers, Idris Elba, Roddy Ricch, Michael B. Jordan, etc. People are talking about how it's like a little bit of a favoritism because like people are literally dragging Meg Thee Stallion for sleeping with the industry when really like Sweetie slept with everybody in every industry. Like if we keeping it a stack. Now some people are saying that, oh, this is colorism. I'm not going to say that. I think we use colorism way too much and we need to really know what the definition of words mean. I don't think it has to do with any colorism, but I definitely feel like there is some type of favoritism because it's like Sweetie. And I remember that time when Sweetie used to go viral eating like freaking ramen noodles with ketchup and weird combination of foods. And they were like, oh my God, Sweetie is so quirky. But when Lizzo put mustard on a watermelon, they call her, all types of animals that are humongous. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think that there is a little bit of favoritism there when it comes to Sweetie. I would say this is the work of pretty privilege. And I think Megan's pretty too. And Lizzo, let's be very clear. But I'm just saying like, Sweetie is like top tier, girl. You know what I'm saying? Like she can literally do anything and then nobody would say nothing about it. Like, girl, you slept with the whole industry. Lori Harvey get more flack than you, girl. And Lori Harvey only been with like, a couple of actors in the industry. Let's be very clear. Like, confirmed actors. But Sweetie, you been with actors and singers and all this type of girl, you child, and I ain't judging, because I'm not no prude. At the end of the day, get it how you live it. But I think that there is a little bit of favoritism there. I do believe Chris Brown when he said that he's probably did sleep with Chris when they were together. It's probably the reason why they had the elevator scene, child, when Quavo was like grabbing at her. Now, I'm not condoning any violence, but I'm just saying, Sweetie be doing her dirt. She be doing her dirt. I'm not justifying anything, but I'm just saying, yeah, that was definitely like a weird little combination. This beef, girl, I don't know what's to come with this situation. Who team am I on? I don't even, like, at this point, it's so, like, this whole beef culture is so oversaturated, and we're only at the tip of the iceberg with this episode, because there's more conversations happening. Freaking Kanye West, okay, he chimes in with his diss. He was over there dissing Cole and Drake. Now, I understand Drake, but what you got against Cole? Okay, he posted this picture right here too. Sorry for the audio listeners, but it's a picture of like a girl and a guy, like it's a cartoon girl and a guy talking about some. Oh, the dude like, oh, do you listen to Cole? She said no, and then some stuff is happening after that. So like, what is your beef with Cole, Kanye? Everybody wants to capitalize off of, oh, I'm beefing with this person. I got it for this person, so let me just get in the booth and just start saying a whole bunch of stuff. It's too much. Like, it has now become like corny, and I find it so weird that it's a lot of these geriatric artists. I'm not trying to age shame, but like, it's a lot of these seasoned artists that really just don't got nothing going on. They got things to promote. So let me just hop in the studio and give some generic diss. Like, where did this come from? Anyway, let's move on. All right, now speaking of Drake, right? Because this is another topic that kind of rubbed a lot of people the wrong way and really is a big conversation starter when it comes to the use of AI in music. So basically, Kendrick has not been responding, okay? There were a couple diss records that were AI generated, come to find out, of Kendrick coming back after Drake, but it was proven to be AI. And Kendrick has not responded. Drake uses AI to create a diss track using the voices of Tupac and Snoop Dogg. And he calls it tailor-made because he's alleging that Kendrick is afraid to drop a counter diss track because Taylor Swift just dropped her album, her recent album. We'll get into that a little bit later. And he doesn't want to be outshined by Taylor, so he's letting that rock out until it's time for him to drop, which I think is stupid because let's be very clear, it makes no sense because none of your diss tracks, none of anybody's diss track that has dropped recently is charting. Even if Taylor didn't drop, y'all still would not be charting. Okay, it would not have mattered. A lot of y'all diss tracks are not charting. So what would be the point of him waiting for Taylor? It does seem like Drake is very like agitated by this man who hasn't said a word since the diss. which really makes Kendrick the winner though, because and somebody said this on TikTok: "Ye who says the least always win, and watch how you can control the narrative." Drake is literally fuming, going back and forth with Rick Ross, because Rick Ross is having his own manic episode. Child, Drake, you over here making AI diss records that has, like, first of all, a rapper that's no longer with us anymore, and then like a whole nother rapper that has nothing to do with this. If I was Tupac's estate or Snoop, I would serve his ass a cease and desist. Okay, you ain't using my name, my voice to try to wake somebody up for no rap beef. That's so corny. And the fact that you're even using AI, it really makes me believe that Push-Ups was AI generated too. Like, I'm just saying, if you're using AI for this, who's to say you haven't been using AI for a lot of your damn songs? And it's been alleged that Drake is working with labels, allegedly, to try to usher in AI. We know that labels tried it with that little AI musician that they tried to push off, this rapper or whatever that was like non-black, but he was saying the N-word and stuff like that. They had to, it was like, okay, we'll quiet down on that. But they are still using AI, and eventually, and the fact that Drake is allegedly behind this, I think that that's so disingenuous. It's a sellout type of mentality, because at the end of the day, it's going to replace artists, like real natural artists, and we're just going to get like fake music from people. Like, okay, you'll sign your voice away and then they'll make whatever song they want using your voice. I think that if Drake is really behind this, I think that's really trashy of him. Now, people also allege that Drake was behind a lot of the songs, the Kendrick Lamar songs that came out, the AI generated Kendrick Lamar diss records. And I think that that's so disgusting, because at the end of the day, it just makes me think about this whole rap beef thing in general. Like, y'all are just making stuff up just to sell records or to stay in the limelight. Like, none of this seems real now. Like, everybody's coming, like, it's like every week is somebody else saying, oh, I got a problem with this person, I got a problem with that person. Child, they all could be using AI at this point, child. I don't know, girl. Tell me what y'all think about that in the comments. But at the end of the day, Drake, you are a sellout. And you know, people are gonna buy your music. People are gonna go to your concerts. I mean, like, you are like somebody I just heard on TikTok say, he's like literally the McDonald's of rap music. At the end of the day, you're gonna always go to McDonald's to get your McChicken or whatever. But if you really want to get some good, wholesome food, you'll go to like a smaller owned restaurant that cooks that good gourmet food. Okay, not McDonald's, honey. Get you a good gourmet burger. And that is Kendrick Lamar. And a lot of these rappers, that they don't get the shine, but they do get the respect because they actually do some good music. And I'm not trying to say Drake don't have good music, because look, we all got Drake music. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we got a Drake song in our phones right now. Okay. Me personally, it's like in the beginning, like his music was better way back then. I remember the music commentator that's on TikTok, and I had them on the show, Pablo the Don. They said the worst thing you can be as an artist is complacent. Right? And that has become apparent when we're talking about Drake's music. Like, you have followed and made a lane that worked for you, that is beneficial for you, but we're not growing. We're staying in the same spot. This is the same thing that Joe Budden said, you know, back when he, you know, Drake was basically upset and pissy and basically called him a hater. But there was some truthness to it. Like, you have become complacent in your music. You have not changed. You are the same person that we heard of. Now you got a little bit toxic. Okay. Your music is now for the incels. And I don't know. He's going to always have his clout, his people. He's always going to subscribe and listen to his music, because that's just who he's become, like a staple now. And you can literally fart on the mic and it will probably go top 10 because you are who you are. I just really fall back from a lot of the old artists that do not choose to change. Like, when we look at people like Beyonce, and I'm not trying to compare, but I mean, we got to compare a little bit. Like, she has completely reinvented herself with almost every album release that she has done. Now, if she wants to go the complacent route and, you know, go back to dropping some R&B records and stuff like that, I mean, that's what the people want, apparently. But like, no, I mean, I love the fact that she's trying, even though the country album was not my thing, I love that she's trying new things. And Some other artists really do, and it's not just Drake, it's other artists. We'll get into them. Because like I said, this episode is very musically heavy. Okay. But yeah, Drake, get out of here. I ain't got time for him, child. Sell out. All right. Anyway, I want to move on. I want to talk about Nicki. I haven't talked about Nicki in a minute. Okay. Okay, so she dropped the FTCU Sleaze mix. Okay, and it had Travis Scott, Chris Brown, and Sexy Red. What I thought about it. I feel like y'all really gonna fight me in the comments. I could just hear y'all. I could hear y'all right now. Y'all gonna fight me in the comments. Ugh, girl. Anyway, I thought it was okay. Damn, I said it. I thought it was okay. I did love the fact that Nicki came back with a new verse. It was between her and Sexy Red, like her verse or whatever. Like they were kind of almost going back and forth. And then in the end, we had like this little DJ mix, which was kind of, it was reminiscent of like when she performed live in concert because the DJ had his little mix on it as well. I will say Chris Brown ate down. He ate everybody on the track actually, which I was very surprised. I was worried actually when I saw the lineup. I'm like, Chris Brown gonna be on this? First of all, you already know there's gonna be people on the internet talk about something. Why is she working with an abuser? We got some people talk about, oh yeah, she only did that because Rihanna turned down this feature. Why would Rihanna be on this? No, people really just be saying stuff just to say stuff online. That's why I said the internet is not a real place. It really is not a real place. Girl, why would Rihanna be on this? Y'all still trying to make up some old ass beef that ain't never worked. Okay, it never was a real thing. They always mess with each other. Anyway, Chris Brown's flow was really interesting. Like he went into a couple different flows. I don't know how or what who he's been working with to get that rap persona together, but he definitely, like I said in when we talked about the topic prior, he really has came a long way when it comes to his raps. He killed that. That was my favorite part of the song. Travis Scott on there, I did not like it. I think that Travis Scott is the type of artist, you get on his song, he don't sound well on other people's songs. It sounded like a whole different song when he started rapping. Like it sounded like a Travis Scott song when he started rapping. Like they had to change the whole scenery. It didn't even sound like FTCU anymore. And it kind of takes you out of the moment of the song. And that was my problem with Travis's part. I feel the same way about Lana Del Rey. That song that had Ariana Grande, Miley Cyrus, and then Lana Del Rey. Everybody was on the song. And then when Lana came on, you know, you got to slow it down because she has a certain way of singing. And her music is a certain way. So it takes you out of the moment. Same thing I'm saying here with Travis Scott. I mean, the verse was cute. He had a part in there that I kind of liked. I was like, okay, we getting there. Now, Sexy, when we got the Sexy Red's part, child, it did kind of sound like she was recording on the phone. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm like, girl, not you recording on the phone, honey, child. What is this? I honestly, and to be honest, like when she said that she was going to do the FTCU remix, I thought it was just going to be her and Sexy, which really would have been cute. But then you got to like realize Sexy don't really, and I know y'all about to fight me in these damn comments. I just hear it right now. But I don't like the reason why Sexy's verse was so short like it was. I don't think she had anything to offer lyrically. I'm just saying, I know y'all like it, y'all, but she's she's kind of like a chant type rapper. Like it's not about the verses or anything like that. It's like when people like get it sexy, like it's like a turn up chant or whatever. She's not known for giving us like a long 30 to 40 second verse that's like, oh my goodness, you hear what she's saying? It was like very much the same, you know? Get it, hey, get this, get that, eat my, you know, same thing. Like, and look, y'all can say the same thing about Ice Spice because y'all gonna be like, oh, well, you like Ice Spice, Darren. I'm like, yeah, I do. Because at least she do something a little different. I don't know. Maybe Ice Spice should have been on this. Ice Spice. Well, see, I don't know because you know Ice Spice only is good on a drill beat, but she needs to be more versatile. I don't know. But if Sexy and Ice Spice was on there and just leave the dudes out. Because it also didn't make no sense. You had some dudes on there, you know, they wasn't gonna get in. Like FTCU is like a sexual song, so I knew that these dudes was not gonna give it like that. Except for, I mean, Chris Brown did. He did have that little OnlyFans joke. I was like, okay, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's not like I didn't like it. It just was okay to me. Now, My opinion doesn't mean nothing to anybody outside of myself. If you loved it, I love that you loved it. It did go platinum. So kudos to Nicki. Shout out to the Queen for FTCU going platinum. And I think it had like 400,000 streams on Spotify. It did really well on iTunes as well. Some of the Cardi stands, oh my God, I can't with y'all. Y'all gonna sit there and judge. Now see, y'all judging the bitch numbers. This is the same weekend that Taylor dropped her album. Let's see a Cardi drop a song while Taylor dropped her album. Okay, let's be very clear, or a bigger artist. So don't do that. Okay, shout out to Nicki. Anyway, speaking of Taylor Swift, we can get right into her. Taylor Swift dropped her highly anticipated 11th studio album, The Tortured Poets Department. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you right now, the reviews are pretty much mixed. Okay, of course, we got the run-of-the-mill Swifties that are saying that this album is a masterpiece and she outdid her previous albums that she's ever dropped, and this is the best thing in the world. Others are saying that it's a bit boring and it shows that she has no growth in her music because she talks about the same thing, her exes and relationships that she had with other people. I mean, some publications have basically called the album flat and at times cringy. Okay, I can speak for myself. I'd say the 1830s without the racist bar, not bar like she rapping, but that lyric was just a little, I don't know. I'm like, what do you mean by that? She also took shots at Kim. We'll get into that a little bit later. I get into Taylor. Let's be very clear. I'm a Taylor fan. I'm not a Taylor stan. Okay, let's be very clear. I don't stan nobody. But I definitely get into her music, especially when she went pop. Like all the albums after Red, right? I kind of got into Taylor. I listened to this song, and I do have some songs that's from that album that's on my personal playlist. I love that song that she did with Florence the Machine. Oh my God. Florida, that was a good song. So Long London, Down Bad, and My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toy. Those were some good songs. I listened to that, right? Overall, I think the album was a snooze fest. I'm not going to hold you. And if there's any Swifties that's going to come in my comments, look, tread lightly. Okay, because I'm just saying what I'm saying. Okay. Ultimately, I think this album is going like it's doing. It's gonna chart. Like she has the top 10 spots. Like most of her music is like top 10 right now. She's going to get the numbers, and she might even get album of the year next year because of off privilege alone. I don't care about that. I think it's a step down from Midnight's. Honestly, I'm just saying it. I enjoy Midnight's a whole lot better. She also took some shots at Kim Kardashian, basically calling her a bully and saying that her kids listening to, because Northwest was listening to Shake It Off, and she was like, aha, your kids listen to my music. This 10-year-old beef, Tay, girl, at some point we got to get over it. And the way that the lyrics came off, let me see them lyrics. Hold on. I don't think you've changed much. And I changed your name and any real defining clues. And one day your kid comes home singing a song that only us two are going to know it's about you. It's giving like Nana Boo Boo type lyrics. Like, girl, I get what you're saying. Oh, okay. So Shake It Off was kind of about Kim, and the fact that your child is actually singing it is kind of like, ooh, wow. You singing this song about your mom. Okay. But at the end of the day, this is a 10-year-old beef. The most that they are we still going to harbor on the fact that they just called you a mean girl? They called you a goddamn mean girl. Okay. And then the whole social media was on their side, and girl, get the hell over it at that point. Nobody's thinking about the situation no more but Taylor. I kind of thought that was kind of corny. Like I said, move on. But back to the Midnight's conversation. I felt like Midnight's was such a refreshing album, and I felt like she played with different sounds. With this album, it seems like one of her, remember her COVID-19 albums, like Folklore and Evermore? Now, I believe that the real, alt Swifties, they get into Folklore and Evermore. I feel like I like Folklore just a little bit more. I didn't like Evermore at all. It just seemed like a copy of Folklore. But it just was very slow pace. Some of the songs kind of sound the same. I was literally listening through. I'm like, girl, we 3 songs in. I thought we was on the same song. The songs were too long, and I know people complain about with Beyonce's music with that too. Like with Cowboy Carter had a lot of long songs. But girl, these songs is like 4 or 5 minutes, girl. 5 minutes? Are you serious? It didn't seem like it played with any new sounds. It was not like Midnight's. Midnight's, that was a good album. I don't know. Maybe we're just stuck, or not we, because I don't want to speak for nobody else but myself. But maybe I'm just stuck in that era. But I definitely feel like, girl, Midnight's was that girl, and maybe she should have waited a little bit. Like, why do we rush to do this? Like, it seemed like a rush. And I'm not trying to come for nobody artwork, because I'm pretty sure there's a meaning for everything. But like the cover of the album, it looked like something that was made. I could have made that off Canva. Like, I could have made that off InstaShop. That them little Instagram apps that you used to use to edit your videos back in 2016. I don't know. I mean, it just was a big disconnect. Like I said, maybe the fans, the real Taylor Swift fans, and I'm not proud of myself on being a real Taylor Swift fan. I'm just a fan of her music, of some of her music. Also, I will say this. Part of her career now is she gets to make the music that she has always wanted to make. And at the end of the day, okay, I'm good with that. I mean, that's the same thing with Beyonce. Beyonce can now make music, whatever type of music she wants. She doesn't have to be put in a box. It's like, oh, you got to do this, or you got to do that. Like, she can make whatever type of music that she wants, and she has that freedom. And I believe Taylor is independent now. Like, a lot of her new songs, like her albums and projects are, she owns the masters for. So, kudos to you in that way. But I don't know. I just wasn't feeling this album. Maybe another listen will change it. I'm probably not gonna listen to it again. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to hear it on TikTok again and be like, oh, you know what? Actually, I do like that song. I know that the fans will they're gonna say that this is gonna be the next big thing. This is they are already like the stands, the real toxic Swiftie fans are saying, oh my goodness, the Beehive ain't never been this silent. I'm just like, y'all are just, I can't with y'all stands, honey. Y'all really ruin music, to be honest. But anyway, that's all I have to say about Taylor. We can move on off that. And I do have a couple topics to get into before I get up out of here. Honey, it's 12 o'clock midday. I got to make sure this episode gets aired on time, honey. Now, one thing that kind of pissed me off earlier this morning, the House of Representatives have decisively passed a bill banning TikTok in the United States unless its Chinese owner divests from the company, making it ultimately inevitable, according to the NY Post. Now, TikTok measure passed by a vote of 360 to 58. The entire aid bill has yet to be voted on, but it is expected to pass. TikTok is used by around 150 million Americans, and lawmakers are increasingly concerned about the company's Chinese communist owners' control over it, okay? In quotes, the forced sale to TikTok represents a bipartisan breakthrough against the CCP's most powerful tool of information warfare against the United States, Rep. Richie Torres told the Post. In quotes again, no longer will Congress stand by while the CCP freely weaponizes TikTok to corrupt the minds of young Americans, radicalize Americans against their own country, and amplify anti-Semitism on the scale and at a pace not seen in human history. Okay, so the users on TikTok are anti-Semitic. This is where it really stems from. This has nothing to do with data. This has nothing to do with some type of warfare or the rise of communists. This has all to do with a lot of the people and a lot of the TikTok creators covering the true story that's happening over there with Gaza and what Israel is doing to the Palestinians. I don't care. I do. Like, that's what this boils down to. Ain't nobody anti-Semitic. We talking about what's not right, what's going on, and what you're covering up on your news. Because let's be very clear, what I hear on the news when they talk about this war in Israel, very formulaic. And I think that is disgusting that we can all agree on deleting an app, but we can't agree on any type of policy that will help Americans, like people that live here. Y'all giving all y'all money away to these other countries that need our help. We over here, but y'all making it being illegal to be homeless. Okay. Y'all are not putting a cap to these people that be owning these houses and apartments. There's no rent caps. Okay. People are able to charge whatever the hell they want. Jobs are not paying nothing. No, and nobody cares about that. But y'all all agree that we need to get rid of TikTok. That's a bad thing. And my thing is this: I ain't got no dog in this fight. TikTok has not been paying me. Okay. I have no reason to defend TikTok, but I will say this, bitch. I do not like a country to tell me what I cannot and can use. That's my problem with this. I don't like that. And that really does piss me off. I mean, and I guess to a certain extent, like there's people that really be making money off TikTok. Like TikTok has become a way for people to promote their brands and businesses and really like it gives you an authentic, it's an authentic, even though I feel like they've been blackballing me, okay, on a lot of my posts. But it's still a way for you to get like an organic growth, whether you're trying to own a business or, grow as a creative and stuff like that. It's going to be really hard. It's going to be a lot of creators that really just going to fall out of relevance after this app like dies. And it's a good thing that I did equally try to, bolster my presence on YouTube while I was growing on TikTok because of something like this to happen. It's really aggravating. And it's going to be a slippery slope because then what else we can't do? Now I'm telling you, it's going to get to a point where you can't do this. You can't do this. Anytime where some regular people get some money, get some type of awareness, there's some eyes, because that's what TikTok was. TikTok was a megaphone for whatever you were trying to promote or do. Now we have to rely on Instagram and Meta and YouTube and stuff like that, where the algorithm is just like, girl, you ain't getting that much traction. I mean, now Instagram is really giving me some traction now, for now, but it's not as organic as TikTok. Like I get a lot of comments on TikTok. There's real human to human interaction on TikTok. Something I have not got from Instagram from a long time. YouTube, very, very little. I mean, I have like a small community of people that will comment on my stuff, and I'm grateful for it. But they don't push my stuff out. It's only for the bigger creators and people that stay in line to what they want. This is very disappointing. And this is the end of TikTok. We're gonna have to find something else, child. Tell me what y'all think in the comments. I'm actually done for today. I have no other topics to talk about. I was going to talk about that Sukihana thing with Peter Thomas, but I don't care about Peter. He always going to say some okay, let's be very clear. I ain't got nothing to say about no damn Peter. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the episode, and I will be back on Wednesday. I will talk to you guys later. Okay, bye.